Alrighty guys, cheers. Today, to you guys out there that worry or to not worrying, it's to you people. Today we're going to talk about worrying and why it's totally pointless. I've shared with you on my recent videos how money's starting to run out. You guys know that I quit the job, travelling in the van, currently in Greece. Here's my experience of worry in life. When I first left school, and I didn't really have good grades. I left with 2 B's, 3 C's. I've not shared that with you guys before. I didn't go to university, and I was worrying, thinking, what am I going to do? And I got a job as an air conditioning engineer, a plumber. And I was worried about not getting a job. And then I got a job, and the people that I worked with were horrible. They used to beat me and all this kind of nonsense. I'm not going to go into that, but it was totally pointless me worrying. One, because I got a job anyway, and two, I didn't even want that job. I didn't want to work with these people. So the worrying was completely pointless. I then left that job. I started my first business, a mobile fish and chip van. Got an overdraft, got a loan, £5,000. Didn't know what I was doing, never run a business before. I'm worrying, thinking, man, I've never done this before. The business ends up taking off. I make money. And then I get to a position where I'm like, I don't even like doing this business. I don't want to sell fish and chips for a living. I don't want to come home stinking of grease and chip fat and this kind of stuff. I don't want to be working in a mobile fish and chip van for the rest of my life. The worrying was completely pointless. One, the business worked, so that worry or thought of it not working was pointless. And two, when it did eventually work, I didn't even want to continue doing that anyway. Again, the worrying was completely pointless. I eventually sold that business. I then was starting to sell sunglasses and stuff like this. I opened a website, sunglassesonsale.co.uk. And I was nearly running out of money. And I was worrying, thinking, shit, what am I going to do? I'm nearly running out of money. I come down to my last few pennies. I put my CV together and think I've got to do something about this. I walk into 7 garages, Volkswagen, Toyota, Ford, this kind of stuff. I just walked in, spoke to the manager, gave him my CV. 3 of them offered me an interview. I turned up to 2 of them, both of them offered me a job. I get the job, I make money. That worrying was totally pointless. I never ran out of money. I was just close to running out of money. I then leave that job after making some money, start my next business. We're entrepreneurs. It fails. I put about 5 years of my life into that business. I'm worrying, thinking, man, this isn't working. I'm running out of money. The business is failing. What are people going to think of me? Totally an ego thing. The business fails. I take on a lot of debt. And I'm thinking, I'm screwed. I'm in debt. My business has failed. I've got no money. I don't have a job. What am I going to do? I'm worrying. I decide, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a high paid job. I go on Gumtree, find a property investment job. I get the job, and then over the next 2 years, I made about £200,000. Just over 2.5 years-ish. That worrying was pointless. Now, you've probably seen in my latest videos, I've said to you guys, I'm nearly broke, running out of money. Travelling in my van, living in my van, currently in Greece, still in Greece. And I don't have a job. I've launched a t-shirt business. Don't know if I'm calling it really a business, but something that I just like doing, like getting creative. I'm doing YouTube. Things are getting close. The difference is this time, I'm not really worrying. Do you know why? Because every single time that I have worried in the past, every single scenario that I just shared with you guys, it turns out all of that worrying only existed in my head. And it was completely pointless because none of it came to reality. I never ran out of money. I never got to a position where you're totally screwed. Not once. And yet there was multiple times that I was worrying or concerned about what might be. And this is what you often find. The things that you're worrying about, really, they exist only in your head about what might happen, not what is actually happening. And the truth is, every single time in my life, I'm 35 years old, where I've got to a position where I'm like, I'm nearly running out of money. What am I going to do? This is failing. This isn't working. When I get to that point of actually nearly running out or nearly being screwed, nearly being in this position, boom, you switch. Okay, now what am I going to do about this? Rather than just consistently trying, sometimes it's better to just accept defeat and to move on. Or to not accept that situation if you're working with people you don't like. Or you have a boss that you don't like. Or a job that you don't like. All of this worrying, I think that we do, really, the vast majority of the time, it just exists in our own head. And it's not in reality. And when you want to change, or create change, it's actually very easy to do. You just decide, yes, I'm going to do it. And every single time that I have done that in my life, it has worked out. So this time, I'm not worrying, as you can probably see. Which is why I'm chilling here with you guys right now, in this place, in a random field, in my chair. And we're having a beer to celebrate not worrying. And I hope that sharing this with you guys allows you to not worry in your life either. Because more often than not, things actually will be okay. So I hope this has helped some people. That's my story about worry and my life, and how worry has been totally pointless. And it's always and only existed up here. Not a single thing that I have worried about has ever come true. I've never become completely broke. I've always been able to get another job. Things have always worked out. So just not worrying. Hope you all have a wonderful, worry-free life. Peace and love.